All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Snow leopards, specters of the solitude. If you've ever wondered how life manages to not just scrape by, but actually thrive in some of the absolute most unforgiving corners of our planet, well, you're definitely in the right place.
Locals and researchers actually call them the ghosts of the mountains, and it's a title they've absolutely earned. Their presence is practically invisible in these harsh, isolated environments. Seriously, you could spend your entire life searching for one and never spot it. Their tracks just seem to vanish completely into the blowing snow, leaving even veteran researchers totally scratching their heads as to where they went.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to meet the mountain ghost, look at how they're built for the cold, explore the high-altitude hunter, understand their life in solitude, discuss protecting the phantom, and wrap up with some snow leopard FAQs. So, Section 1. Meet the mountain ghost, surviving the extremes. Let's start by figuring out exactly where these magnificent phantoms actually hide out.
Their territory spans 12 countries across Central and South Asia. We're talking places like Nepal, China, Pakistan, and India. And honestly, it is not for the faint of heart. Just to stand in their home range, you've got to trek up between 9,800 and 17,000 feet into that freezing, super thin mountain air. I mean, imagine jagged rocky cliffs, ridiculously steep terrain, and alpine meadows where the temperature swings wildly and human presence is basically non-existent.
Moving right along to Section 2. Built for the cold. Anatomical superpowers. Because look, to survive temperatures plunging to negative 40 degrees Celsius, you're going to need some serious biological upgrades. Check out this incredibly thick fur. It actually grows up to 5 inches deep on their bellies alone. Talk about vital winter insulation. And those massive, broad paws, they're completely covered in fur, even on the soles. It gives them this crucial traction on the ice and acts just like a pair of natural snowshoes, distributing their weight perfectly across deep powder. Oh, and get this, they even have these specialized enlarged nasal cavities that rapidly warm up the freezing mountain air before it ever hits their lungs. It's like nature's own central heating. Section 3. The high-altitude hunter. Apex predators of the peaks. The really crucial takeaway here is that they aren't just scraping by in the cold, they are completely dominating it. Just think about the sheer agility you'd need in this kind of vertical terrain. They use the high ground to set up an ambush, and then literally chase their meals down these steep, totally treacherous mountainsides. They are completely in their element. With a highly developed chest and incredibly powerful muscles, they navigate these rocky cliffs with a silent, deadly precision. It's honestly unmatched anywhere else in the animal kingdom.
Now, as opportunistic carnivores, their diet is mainly wild mountain ungulates. We're talking silently stalking blue sheep, Siberian ibex, Argali wild sheep, and even marmots. But what's really wild here is their raw strength. A snow leopard can take down prey that is up to 3 times its own body weight. 3 times! It's just a phenomenal display of leverage and muscle.
So look at this number, 50. What's truly astonishing is the sheer explosive power this represents. Fueled by those massive hind legs we mentioned, a snow leopard can leap up to 50 feet horizontally in a single bound just to capture its prey. Picture jumping the entire length of a semi-truck trailer in one single go. Crazy, right? That is the ghost of the mountains in action. All right, Section 4. Life in solitude, the lonely mountain kingdom. Because, despite all that incredible hunting prowess, the life of a mountain ghost is a pretty solitary one. A single male might patrol a massive territory, up to 200 square kilometers, totally alone. They really only meet up briefly during mating season, but the mothers do temporarily break that solitude. They dedicate 18 to 22 months of their lives to raising their cubs. And they really have to, because these little guys are born completely blind. They rely entirely on their mom to learn the extreme survival skills they're going to need in these harsh mountains.
Which brings us to Section 5, and a bit of a sobering reality, protecting the phantom, a vulnerable future. Let's see how our human footprint contrasts with their natural invincibility.
That number right there, 6,500, that is actually the optimistic, high-end estimate of how many snow leopards are left in the wild today. Some experts think it might be closer to just 4,000. And because of this incredibly low population spread out across such huge distances, they are officially classified globally as a vulnerable species.
So why are the numbers so low? Well, as humans, we have a habit of pushing into wild spaces. These cats are facing devastating habitat loss from expanding infrastructure like roads and mining. Plus, climate change is warming the mountains, shifting the tree lines, and pushing their prey higher up.
And tragically, they're targeted by illegal poaching for their pelts and bones, along with retaliatory killings by local herders. It's a really complex conflict, honestly, because a lot of these herders are just trying to survive themselves and protect the livestock their own families depend on.
Bringing us to Section 6, Snow Leopard FAQs. You asked, we answered. To wrap up this explainer, let's dive into 4 of the most frequently asked questions about these fascinating cats.
Question 1. Can snow leopards roar like lions or tigers? I mean, it's a big cat, closely related to the tiger, right? So you'd naturally expect this terrifying, bone-rattling roar echoing through the Himalayas. Surprisingly, no. Because of their unique throat physiology, they literally lack the physical ability to roar. Instead, they use these low-frequency chuffs, hisses, mews, and get this, they're actually the only big cats that can make short purring sounds. It's a much more subtle, stealthy vibe.
Moving to question 2, why is their tail so exceptionally long? If you've ever seen a picture of a snow leopard, you know what I mean. Their tail almost looks a bit comically oversized compared to the rest of their body.
It can reach up to a full meter in length, which is basically as long as their entire body. This thick, fat-storing tail actually serves 2 huge purposes. First off, it's a built-in counterbalance, letting them make those razor-sharp turns while sprinting along cliff edges. And second, when they settle down to sleep in the freezing snow, they literally wrap it around their faces and bodies for warmth, almost like a cozy, built-in heated scarf.
Question 3. Why are they so incredibly hard to photograph in the wild? You might wonder why those pro-wildlife documentary crews have to spend months freezing in a blind just to get a few fleeting seconds of footage.
Well, it all comes down to a masterclass in camouflage. That beautiful smoky gray coat with those black rosettes, it is essentially a natural invisibility cloak. It flawlessly mimics the shadows, the snow patches, and the jagged stones of their rocky terrain. Seriously, you could be looking right at a snow leopard and have absolutely no idea it was staring back at you.
And our final question, why do snow leopards matter to us? I mean, why should we care about this elusive cat living thousands of miles away from most of us, way up in the thin mountain air?
Here's the big takeaway. As apex predators, snow leopards are sort of the ultimate guardians of the high mountains. When we protect them, we protect vast tracts of wilderness, which keeps the whole alpine ecosystem in perfect balance. And this is the crucial part. Those ecosystems are the source of the river systems that hundreds of millions of people downstream rely on to survive. Like the quote hits on, ecosystems are entirely interconnected. We share this planet, and the survival of the mountain ghost is actually deeply tied to our own. So I'll leave you with this. If we allow the ghosts of the mountains to fade away forever, what happens to the world they leave behind? Think about that.